Namaste, my friends. Today's yoga class, again, yin yoga, my weekend. Took a couple hours to do my yin yoga. And then something that I was really realizing today that in terms of poses, I was really focusing on doing things that I didn't want to do and holding poses longer than I wanted to hold them, longer than they were comfortable, and like really not fighting, coming to terms and accepting to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. One thing that yin yoga does is when you're holding a pose for a while, I usually just hold it for, a few breaths, which might be like 10, 15, 20 seconds, which isn't really that much for the muscles to like really get into the pose. But in yin yoga, since you're holding a pose for so long, it's like you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and going so deep into the pose that, it starts hurting more. Um, and so the challenge that this brings up is you have your mind when it gets into this challenged position where your muscles are really just being pulled to their limits, and you're just going deeper. The first instinct is to pull away. Like pull away. This is uncomfortable, not painful. If it's painful, definitely back up. But just the uncomfort and learning to be comfortable with that discomfort is, I think, a skill that I really want to develop, because there are a lot of things in my life that I want to do, and I get uncomfortable doing them because I don't feel like doing them. It's really hard to do. I'm not in the mood. There's so many reasons why I have my dreams of the things that I want to do, and they require hard work and doing things that aren't like immediately pleasurable. They're not immediately gratifying. And so I'm just trying to develop that ability to be able to do the things that are hard. And so in yoga, just very being able to come face to face with this feeling as it is, and being able to, flex my will over it is really a skill that's really going to help me develop into the person that I want to be. Um, so in yoga, it's very much a way to be what you want to be experientially. Instead of just saying, I want to do hard things, I looked at what makes hard things hard to do. And for the majority part for me, it's that it just doesn't feel good to do hard things. Like it's hard to do hard things. And I don't like doing hard things. I would rather be comfortable. I'd rather do easy things. Um, and so that feeling of giving up is what's hindering me from doing the hard things that I know are good for me, that I know in the long run will make me happy. So it's not even like I'm just doing a hard thing to do a hard thing. It's doing a hard thing because it's worth doing a hard thing, because it's important to do the hard thing. So, like, really just defining this variable, defining this sensation, this feeling that keeps me from living the life that I want, and creating that simulation in my yoga, and like coming face to face with the discomfort allows me to overcome that sensation and to know how to do hard things. So experientially today, in just all the poses, when that discomfort started, when poses are going much deeper than they are, it's like I'm gaining the skills and the ability to overcome my weaknesses, the things that are keeping me from living the life that I want. So that was today's yoga class. And it's really, that's what one of the beauties of yoga is. You just get a chance to cultivate strength of will. You get to cultivate intuition. You get to cultivate being in the present moment, and really knowing who and what you are and how to best use yourself in order to accomplish things. And so, one thing I also realize is that yoga and meditation isn't about training the mind and training the body. To an extent, it is, but the main thing is training yourself on how to use it. So it's not, you're not changing the fundamentals of the mind and the fundamentals of the body, because they have their own laws and the way that they function outside of your input. This path, the practice of yoga, is just teaching you how you could be in the best relationship, how to fully utilize the mind and the body. And so that's like something I'm really coming to terms with. It's about changing the self. It's not about changing the mind. It's not about changing the body, although that does happen. The most important thing is changing yourself to be more in tune with your body, with your mind, and ultimately with the universe, with people, with situations, with everything. And it all starts with you learning how to conduct yourself. All right, namaste, my friends.